Would you record a whole YouTube video like this? Soil everywhere. It's time to repot some of my biggest plants. Let's do it together. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, my name is Rose, my pronouns are she, her, and I love to make videos about plants, especially because it kind of makes my chores a little bit easier because it feels like you're here with me. So if you have plant chores to do, this is a great time to do them with me on in the background, or you can just relax and watch me work really hard because I have to repot some of my biggest Aroids, including Thijs, the Thai Constellation, my big Plaumani, Luna, the Monstera variegata, and Ferry, this big beast. I've been struggling repotting this guy, or thinking about repotting, because this pot is already so big. How am I gonna get a bigger pot? Luckily, I know some people at Elho, and I work with them sometimes, so they kindly send me these huge pots. This one does mean that it probably won't be able to live in my south-facing window anymore, because it's just too big. It even has wheels, so I might have to find a new spot for Ferry. But then I can use Ferry's big pot for Thijs, the Thai Constellation. And I have this really long pot. If you don't know, I love to grow my crawlers in these troughs. They're called Greenville troughs by Elho, but they're all reaching the end already. So the one that I got now is much longer, which will be good. It will have longer to continue growing. Like I said, we're also gonna repot Thijs. I might actually give him a pole since he's kind of crawling his way to the side of the pot. Might be good to pop him up on some kind of support. Although crawling also seems to be working well for him because he's pretty big. But I'd love to get him some more fenestrations. I recently saw Kevin's Thai Constellation, Hakuna La Planta, and his Thai Constellation is so pretty. I want Thijs to get more holy and like that. Again, I don't know if Thijs will still be able to fit into the windowsill. It's a pretty wide windowsill in general, but even with that, he's been struggling. He's been stuck against the window a little bit too much with the pot on the edge of the windowsill, so we're gonna have to figure all of that out. We did just clean the whole house, so my boyfriend suggested I do the repotting outside. I'm a little bit worried about that because there are a lot of thrips, especially in my greenhouse, which of course we don't want to transfer onto the Monstera. They seem to really like the taste of Monstera, but I'm gonna do it just outside, not near the greenhouse, and hopefully they will be safe. This is Luna, by the way, if you're new here. This is my variegated Monstera that I'm also gonna propagate, so I might do that now as well. I'm not sure yet. Let's move outside. This is my Plaumani, by the way. I absolutely love this plant. He has been getting a little bit too much light. Look at the ruffles on the back, you can't see. I will show you outside. Should I also repot the crystallinum? Because that's in a pretty small pot for what it is. Still looks good. I don't see any rogue roots yet. Actually, this plant has a new leaf that I want to become as big as the other ones. So I'm gonna leave it. The pots. I think I'm gonna use the hot tub as a repotting table. Let's see how it goes. Maggie's investigating the repotting station. Is it good enough, Mags? We're starting with Ferry, the biggest one of all, because I need that pot for the next repot. I'm gonna be using Soil Ninja. This is the Philodendron and Monstera mix that they kindly sent me. I have a code with them if you want to try this out. Plant with Rose will get you a discount, and it also helps me. I don't really know how to start because it's such a big plant. My brain doesn't want to do it. Okay, we're doing it. Are we doing it? Yeah. I've showed you before in the Monstera video that there are 4 plants in the pot currently, and one of them is very, very small in the back here, so that's probably going to be taken out. Okay, let's see the roots. This is really hard. That's why I don't often do it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that looks good. Lots of roots out the bottom, that's why we're doing this. Okay.
Five minutes later.
Come on, let go. Yes. I did break off most of the roots that were out the bottom because it just doesn't work. If you want to try and get them out with these pots. The holes are too small, but that's okay. Some rotted roots over here. Can you see all these new roots? They're the ones that came in from the aerial roots that I guided down into the pot. The little baby is coming loose already. Come on, buddy. Let go. Ah! I broke one root that was on the moss pole, but I think it's okay otherwise. Already covered in soil. Here we go. This is the adorable little baby that struggled so much to get out because it wasn't getting enough light or space for the roots, as you can see. So this is definitely getting its own pot and gonna be so much happier. I'm getting the second plant out. This is a small one at the back that's growing the wrong direction. This is hard work, but we got this one out. Look how beautiful. This, either we're gonna turn towards the moss pole correctly or pot separately. See some root rot here. So with repotting, I always remove the dead parts so that you don't have any more rotting tissue in your next happy soil mix. I also definitely noticed that this soil, even though it still looks pretty good there's bits of, I'm so covered in soil, bark and cocoa husk, but the soil itself is very dry. It's lost all the ingredients that you want in healthy, happy soil. So that's where we're gonna replace it. So this is the size pot that Ferry came out of. I thought this was the second to largest size pot by Elho. These are self-watering inserts by Elho. I got this one as a replacement. This one is 44 centimeters. I just realized that this is 33. They also have a 36 size. So I could have gone one size up and not two sizes up, but we'll make it work. To fill this huge pot, we'll need quite a lot of soil. I do a layer of leca at the bottom to fill the little blobs, the little feet. And then the rest will be this Soil Ninja mix. I don't think I have enough to fill up this whole huge thing. I think I'm gonna add in some leftover bark. I'm also gonna add in some worm castings. I really love their worm castings. I feel like it really helps the plants to grow. Yes, I'm touching worm poop with my hands right now. I may have definitely underestimated how much soil I need because I'm filling that one, but also the one that filled this one. And then I also have the long pot to fill. So I definitely don't have enough soil. So I'm gonna go to the local garden center to get some last minute soil like I used to do with my own mix. All right, I've been to the shop to get more soil. Now I'm ready. We're starting with a layer of leca at the bottom. Then a layer of our soil. I'm trying to rotate the roots around so that, oh, here's another rotted one, so that the moss pole base can rest on something solid, not the roots itself. Just realizing that if I put the moss pole on one side of the pot, it might fit into the windowsill still. Okay. I don't think I've ever used this much soil in one sitting. Soil in my eye. I did go to the shop and buy some extra bark, really big pieces, because these pots are so huge. Just giving it that extra chunk that the big plants might need. I think this looks great. I don't know if you can see, but it's on one side of the pot here. Is that clear? Looks pretty good. Now see if I can lift it up. Very in the outside pot now. It is heavy, but you can definitely see it works better with the moss pole on one side because it doesn't stick out as much. Sneak peek of our garden makeover stuff, but hopefully it's gonna continue growing like this. Hello, it's Rose from the future. It's about 5 weeks since I recorded the repot. It took a while to edit this video, so I thought I would include some updates. I don't think there's any new leaves yet, but there are a lot of new aerial roots that I'm guiding down into the soil. Hopefully underneath the soil it's also doing well. We do have some yellowing leaves at the bottom here, some of the older ones, which is totally normal. Once the plant has had some stress, it is maybe a little bit quicker to drop some of the older leaves. But in general, he's doing really well. The only thing I really struggle with is that the pot almost doesn't fit on the windowsill. It has wheels and I'm kind of scared that it's gonna drive off it. But so far so good. We are having a big home renovation done in about 2 weeks and this whole window is going to be closed off because they're replacing all the windows, and so there's not going to be any light here. I have to move all the plants to somewhere else, but they're actually doing work in all the other rooms in our house as well. The greenhouse has thrips and mealybugs, so I don't want to move them there. So I've been very stressed. I was crying a lot yesterday, actually. Mental health matters. But luckily I have amazing support of my boyfriend, my cats, my family and friends, and of course you guys. I've gotten some lovely, oh, there's a cat coming right now. I've gotten some lovely messages with tips, but also just people understanding that it can feel stressful. Maxer! So thank you for that. And of course I will make videos of this whole renovation and plant moving somewhere and us living partly in the greenhouse while this is all going on, but that's for a future video. Let's get back to this one. Okay, the next plant is Thijs, the Thai Constellation. Now I have that other pot free to put him in. Let's see what his roots look like. Also a bunch of roots coming out the bottom. Hopefully we can save these because the hole here is quite big. So here we have the stem, and I put moss around it to activate more aerial roots. So I'm taking that off first. It's definitely worked because there's some adorable roots growing. Okay, let's try it. Oh, already enough? Satisfying. Ah! My boyfriend has decided that we have to cut open the pot to not waste the long roots because it does not want to come out. Kijk dan. Oh, dat is het, Thijs. Oh. Oh. Yes. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, buddy. Wow. I definitely could have repotted this sooner. I'm wondering if one size bigger is bigger enough. This was the pot and this is the new pot. Basically the same size, so I think I'm gonna go even bigger. I did buy a bunch of new simple pots as well, also from Elvo, and I think it's gonna be this one because if you look at the size, it's a little bit bigger, also a little bit deeper, but not a lot. Trying to carefully peel the big roots loose a little bit so that it's not such a clump. Once it gets the new soil, it can easier adjust to more space. I want to get rid of the old soil, which is kind of dry and dusty like the previous one, but it also really will affect the roots, so I'm not sure which one will be better, more aeration and new soil and ripped roots, or the other. I don't know. I think this will do. I want to angle it a little bit more upward as well, so I can plant it now like this in the new pot, and I have a little pole for it to give it some support and see if that works. Since Thai Constellation are famous for if a monstera gets root rot, it's your Thai. I want to make sure that I don't get that. And I do that by creating more aeration and removing all the dead roots. Ugh. My muscles are sore. Good job, Thijs. Okay, I can show you from the other side now because the sun is basically gone. This is the pot we're going to use. For this one I'm not putting a layer of leca at the bottom since it doesn't have the self-watering features. This is just a flat bottom with holes. I always have drainage holes, so I don't like leca for that. A lot of people do use a layer of leca for better drainage, but actually it's been researched and proven that that gives more wetness to your soil. So the soil holds more wetness that way. Let's see. The roots in here, that fits, can you see? So I think we're gonna go also to the back of the pot here, and then I'm gonna put the pole in there, and then it looks even cooler because it's starting to grow upwards. We'll see how that goes though. Some dead roots. Not sure, this is already a pretty tight pot. Do I want one size bigger even? I don't know. No, maybe. I don't know if I have an outer pot for bigger than this one, because I have this white one that fits this one perfectly. But if I go one size bigger, I don't think I have anything. Okay, we'll just go for this one. This is the one size bigger, so even more tall and more big. I think it's fine. We're gonna work with it. This is de mospel I bought, or the coconut fiber pole. Als jij nu de stam wil vasthouden, like that. Okay, he is in. Can you see? The new pole is not necessarily stable, but I'm hoping it will become stable once I water a little bit more. And he looks amazing. Especially Thijs has incredible progress. I did move him here on this little stool because he did not fit in the windowsill anymore. When I put him there, all the leaves were turning inwards. Once I turned them towards the light, it didn't fit. See how much space he takes up on the side? And check this out. Oh, there is a new leaf! It has been growing right away since I repotted, so I think he was definitely very happy with the repot. This was the opposite of what I expected. I personally think it's mainly the repot, the space for the roots, that he really liked, but maybe it's also the moss pole. So I don't know yet what is gonna happen with this new leaf, if it has time to unfurl properly. They're starting in about 2 weeks with the renovations. So I really hope that by then it is a little bit hardened off. I don't expect it to, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and I would appreciate it if you would too. Let's go back to the video. Luna is next because she's also very root bound. Like I said, I am gonna propagate her, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it today. Maybe. This new leaf feels pretty hardened off. Actually, we could do it. And we're gonna pot up this one in Luna's pot. Luna's gonna go either in one of these. We'll see size-wise. Size-wise. Let's remove the moss first. This is kind of fun to see. Here you see the top cutting. Doesn't have many roots yet. There's something growing here. But then a little bit lower. There you go. Can you see all these brand new roots here as well? All the little tips. This makes this cutting especially very successful. Should we cut her? Should we cut her? Let me know in the comments if I should cut her or not. For now, I'll unpot. Come on, baby. Let go.
5 minutes later.
I wonder if you can hear my neighbors. They're having a party, and this is my neighbors on that side who have kids, so they're having a kids party, I think. Yesterday our other neighbors were having a full-on party in the garden, which is right opposite our bedroom window, which is interesting. But I have to film now, so you're getting to hear all my neighbors. For Luna, the update is a little bit differently. I tell you a little bit later in the video that I actually propagated her for a future video, but then also I sold a few of the cuttings last week because I really need some money for this renovation and also space in my house. I have 3 cuttings left that were more of the half moon risky propagations that I will show you in a separate video. Not much to see on these yet, just that it's cut and that there's 3 left out of the 7 cuttings. Let's pot this one up next. This is the small plant that was growing in Ferry's pot. It has a nice stem, but it can definitely use a moss pole and this long root with some root rot signs. So we're gonna take some bits off. I think we're gonna pot it up in Luna's pot with probably a moss pole that I have to find. Let's quickly make a moss pole. I get this from Simon, moss poles on Instagram. It's basically a piece of chicken wire and a piece of plastic that match together with some tie wraps. These were my own, but they do deliver with tie wraps. I thought white would be less standing out, but I think it stands out more. Don't question Simon. They know what's up. Look at this. Okay, this is pretty ugly. Sorry, Simon. Normally I would fill it with moss first, but since this plant has some nice roots that we want to try and get in the moss pole, I want it to be here with a root there. Now we have this nicely set up to go in a pot. Perfect. I like to kind of roll the roots up so that it fits in the pot and doesn't get broken. So I'm very curious how this baby fairy will do on a pole of his own and enough light and everything. So I'm definitely gonna treasure this baby and see how it develops. I'm happy with this one. Oh, and I didn't show you because I filmed that as a separate video, but I totally chopped up Luna into bits. Doesn't want to focus on it. But yeah, that's going to be a separate video, including growth updates, and we're going to pot up all these separate bits. Isn't this adorable? With the fairy baby, I can't even show you anything because I also sold that. I felt very sad about it, but I have this huge big one, and I figured someone will be very happy with it, and I can use the space. Less plants to worry about during the home renovation. So he's gone now. I miss him, but hopefully the person who bought it will send me some updates, because I asked them to. This is my Plaumani and Pastazanum in one pot. Pastazanum has not looked very nice in a while. I don't know if I like that plant. So we're gonna take it all apart. I'm growing this philodendron neon around it, and it's grown really long. It's growing all over the place. There we go. Can you see what's happening? No. There we go. I feel like the base of the stem doesn't have many roots left. The top is very healthy, I think. It keeps flowering as well. Very dense soil. This is definitely the star of the show. So that's gonna get the best spot in the new pot. This is the Pastazanum, and that actually has a very sad new leaf. I don't know exactly why. It looks like pest damage to me, but I don't see any pests. This has started to make a new growth point here, which is interesting. It's also much more rooted at the base of the stem. Oh, whoops, forgot about this plant. Come on. So this was the old pot. And this will be the new pot, like 20, 30 centimeters more. These pots are actually for outside. So they have a water reservoir at the bottom. It's built in. And for me, so far, it's worked really well for crawlers. I put a layer of leca at the bottom and they dry out very quickly in my south-facing window. So I think the possibility of having some water at the bottom actually kind of helps them. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm very happy with them. So we're gonna continue using it. I think I'm just going to reuse this leca. For the Plaumani, I'm also going to chop the base of the stem off. Mainly because it doesn't have any leaves anymore. Zero. And then I can plant it a little bit more efficiently at the back of the pot. But also, I can now try and see if I can get this growth point activated so that we have another little Plaumani. Because they are beautiful. It would be nice to have a forest of them. I did the same with Gloriosum. I cut several pieces of stem. Worked like a charm. It's growing, I think, 3 babies now and 2 big plants in one of those pots. So, happy with that. Let's cut again. And now I see this growth point, so I'm going to have that kind of facing the top. Because I had that with the Gloriosum before where the point was apparently facing down and it had to struggle to come out. I think I'm also going to chop the Pastazanum. Since that was already growing a new point, do we want to focus on it? Look at that. I think it has some stem rot. Maybe it was too wet. Look at the base here. I don't know if it wants to focus on it, but it looks like stem rot. Kan je me misschien weer even een handje helpen? Alright, this is looking pretty good. Thanks to the help of my boyfriend, who's now sneezing. Can you hear him? Yeah. Here is the update on the long pot of Plamani and Pastazanum. Actually, the Pastazanum has grown a new leaf. It's looking a lot better already. This was the previous one. So that's going well. It was stuck while it was coming out, so it's a little bit damaged. But in general, it's doing a lot better. Then the Plamani has this huge leaf. Can you see it? Hopefully you can. But it's also growing another point right there. There. So that's growing well. And then here in the corner, holy crap, this is heavy. This is better. And then this is one of the wet stick cuttings that I planted on the opposite side. So this is a Pastazanum right next to the Plamani because I thought that would look nice. This has already grown a leaf and is working on its second. The little Plamani stem cuttings that are down here are only showing some growth points, but no leaves just yet. But I'm very impressed with how this has developed. They are so pretty again. Yay, it worked. I guess it still works. It still fits even the biggest pot. Looks kind of nice. So if you have leaves growing against the window, you can definitely, when you repot, move the plant all the way in the back of the pot and the leaves don't reach as far. I'm pretty happy with this. I just realized how much soil and stuff there is on my face. Welcome to my world. Everything is covered in dirt. But that's the way I like it. And there's a Hoya tendril in my face with mealybugs. Nice. I'll have mealybugs in my hair, but I have to shower anyway. That's it for the repot of my biggest Aroids, even though this one is kind of small. It came from one of my biggest ones. Just set up Thijs and Ferry here as the background. Let me know what you think, if you would have done things differently, if you would have propagated Luna or not, and how you like to repot your biggest plants. A big thank you as well to Elho, who makes these huge beautiful pots from recycled plastic. I've been to their factory one day, it was really fun, and they actually run the factory on their own wind turbine, creating the energy for it. So it was really fascinating to see. And I'm so happy they continue to work with me because I really value their ethics and their products. They're great products as well. So thank you, Elho. If you want to use my code for Soil Ninja, I'll link that below, Plant with Roos for a discount. And you can reach out to Simon on Mospol's Instagram to buy these. Highly recommend them as well. If you made it all the way here, thank you so much. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And you can join my Patreon and YouTube membership if you want a group Zoom call with me every month and a Discord chat. Big thank you to all my patrons and YouTube members. Hello! If you're here and you're not yet in the Discord, please check the community tab. That's where I have linked the link to Discord. Unfortunately, with YouTube memberships, there is no way to communicate with you guys. So with Patreon, I can send emails and stuff. Here, I cannot. So I'm just hoping to get all the members who are here onto the Discord because it's a lovely little community. Very small. I am so dirty. Okay, definitely time for me to hit the shower. Thank you so much for doing this with me. It was a big task and I'm happy it's finally done. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Bye!